Here it is. Hello there. This is highly embarrassing. My name is Judge Klaus, but most people don't recognize me unless I'm dressed in these fancy chancellor's robes and sitting there behind my bench. So naturally, if you ever need to find me, I'll be right here in my courtroom helping to solve the problems that do tend to present themselves from time to time. I know what you're thinking. While it does appear that we have the perfect existence in our serene little community, our forest is really just the same as everywhere else. You see, we've got big and tall, tiny and small, creatures of every description. Each is different and distinct as the flowers that bloom in the springtime. I think you'll agree that all this variety makes us pretty interesting, but it also causes some differences of opinion. And these arguments need sorting out, all of which keeps me exceedingly busy. Oh, goodness! It's you! Oh, yes, this reminds me. I have an assistant who works with me and helps out with the chores around the court, and his name is Danny.
Some dimwit put that bench directly in my path, and I almost was hurt.
Yes, I wonder who could have been so thoughtless. Let's see.
Almost through for the day. There we go. This is the last one. I must have spent half the day lugging these benches down from the attic, but we're all set and the courtroom's ready for that important trial tomorrow morning. Just don't forget they're here when you turn off the lights, Judge. You know how absent-minded you can be, and we wouldn't want you to get hurt now, would we? Good night.
Oh, well.
I tell you, it's downright dangerous. Carelessness like this can cause serious injury. It's reckless and irresponsible, and people should simply pay more attention.
Danny's got a lot to learn, doesn't he? But after all, he's just a youngster. He's only 90 years old. Yet I will say this for the lad. He's a wonderful courtroom artist, I'll give him that.
Hello.
Looks familiar.
It's my cousin, Mona.
Huh. Danny's a pretty fair dancer, too, and some of the girls even think he's cute. But his sweetheart, Bruna, is not impressed with his poetry.
You are gorgeous. There is no one lovelier in the entire world. Your eyes are like pomegranates, your lips like twin butterflies.
And most everyone in the forest will admit that he looks mighty impressive in a hockey uniform. It's just that his proficiency as a goalie still leaves something to be desired. Even with all his shortcomings, I admire Danny quite a lot. Huh? Clumsy today, aren't we? Uh-huh. That's our Danny. Why, that's the history of the Gnomes. How well I remember the day I wrote the first chapter in this book. I was busy jotting down an outline for a written record of our people, when all of a sudden...
Klaus! Monica, he's here!
Well, well, well.
Hurry!
Now take a deep breath, little ones, and tell me what's going on.
Please follow us, Judge. And we'll be late if we don't hurry. Time's a-wasting. Let's go!
Sounds like this is important.
Over there!
Hello!
Look, they're about to hatch!
Well, you two were right. We got here just in the nick of time, didn't we?
They're really cute, aren't they? Look, there's one egg that hasn't hatched yet. But that duck is different. He's a different color. killer.
Yes. Well, this is excellent news indeed. 6 healthy young ducklings. Congratulations are in order. You're lucky parents and should be very proud.
Don't you feel sorry for that other duckling, huh?
Yes, Judge Klaus, he looks so sad. I'm sure he already knows he's not as pretty as his brothers and sisters.
There will be no more of that talk. You young people will learn soon enough that being pretty is certainly not the most important thing in life. There are other values to consider. Love and kindness matter much more.
But Klaus, the poor little duckling's so homely.
Oh, I wouldn't worry about our tiny friend if I were you. Come on now.
Yes, very well. Now that I have heard both sides of the argument in this case, it's up to me to make a fair decision, isn't it?
Look.
Oh.
Now here's what you are going to do, and you are going to do it because I am the judge.
Shh. Silence.
Now, let me congratulate you all on the wise decision to bring this important question to a judge like me, who is so obviously full of wisdom.
Did you catch any?
Did I catch any what, kind sir?
Did you catch many flies today?
I don't understand. Flies?
Yes, of course. I noticed the energetic way you were waving your hands about and figured you were catching flies. Isn't that what you were doing?
Oh, that's right. That's what I was doing, clearing the court of insects. You're right, sir.
In that case, I owe you a debt of thanks. I have been noticing some noisy little pests hanging around here lately. And with whom do I have the honor of talking?
Oh, yes, sir. Please forgive me. The name's Danny, and I have a letter of introduction from my father right here in my pocket.
That's nice, but just who might your father be?
He's Anthony, the renowned architect, and a very good friend of yours.
It says here that I would like my young son, Danny, to have an opportunity to get to know you so that he may learn what the system of justice is all about from a true master. That's a nice thing to say, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
Sounds like you're in need of a job, and I have known your dear father for a couple of 100 years or so since the trees in our forest were just young saplings. Oh, so you aspire to become a judge now, do you? Well, you certainly are right handy with that pencil. That's quite a self-portrait, lad.
Why, thank you, sir.
And while you may be a bit young to practice law with me, I have an idea that might suit you just fine. How would you like to make this forest your home? You could work right here as my courtroom artist and assistant. What do you think, son?
That would be wonderful.
Bravo, bravo! Judge Klaus, we think that's a wonderful idea. Bravo, Danny, bravo!
Look at the poor thing. Even his brothers and sisters won't play with him.
Everyone's just ignoring him, aren't they?
Don't be sad, little duckling. We'll play with you. Yes, that's right. We'll be your friends.
We promise you we're going to be the best of friends forever and ever.
But what do we call you, little fellow?
That's right. We've got to give you a name.
I've got it. We'll call him Blackie.
No, Blackie isn't dignified enough for such a fine duck. Henry would be a much better name.
I like it.
And I think it's the nicest name in the whole wide world.
That settles it. We all agree.
Well, little fellow, from now on, your name will be Henry.
We didn't know it then, but Henry was going to play a very big role in our lives.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ready or not, here I come.
It's a bright and shiny summer day, and we learn to count while we laugh and play. 1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Monica and Beto were having a joyous time, and Henry had become like one of the family. But then one day, and no one knew why, Henry simply didn't show up to play with them. The two children were beside themselves with worry. It was the busiest of seasons for us in the courtroom. While I was reviewing the day's notes, my young assistant was tidying up some files. When suddenly...
Danny! Danny!
What'll we do?
It's Henry! He's disappeared!
What's that?
Beto's right, Danny. We've searched the forest high and low, and we can't find Danny anywhere.
Well, you two just haven't looked hard enough, that's all.
Honestly, Judge, we looked everywhere.
Let's go take a look. We're looking for Henry. Have you seen him? Can you help us? Have you seen Henry? We're looking for Henry. Have either of you two seen him lately? Excuse me. Have you two seen Henry?
My three friends had spent the whole day searching the forest.
Mr. and Mrs. Duck, we've looked everywhere. You wouldn't know where Henry's gone, would you?
We're never ever going to see Henry again.
Monica's right, Danny.
You've just got to have faith, little ones. Don't worry, I know he's going to show up.
We want you to come back, Henry. We really love you.
It was indeed difficult to remain hopeful, because with each passing hour, it seemed less likely that their little duckling friend would ever be back among them again. Yet the three gnomes never gave up. And as they continued their search for Henry, Danny tried everything he could think of to keep a smile on the children's faces.
Hello there! Isn't this the most beautiful morning either of you has ever seen?
Danny, I can't believe you said that.
Monica's right. What's so beautiful about it?
Well, warmer weather's here again.
Yes, but
Yeah.
Henry's sure not.
Henry'd become our very best friend, and now the forest isn't any fun anymore.
Yes, I never looked at it that way before, and I'll have to agree with you, the forest isn't nearly as merry without our friend. It's time for action. I know what we'll do. Yes, as long as all the work is caught up in the courtroom, we'll set out to look for Henry. We'll really get serious. That's it. All three of us will set out together and search in earnest.
But you know we've already looked everywhere.
Yes, we've searched the whole forest.
We shouldn't restrict ourselves to the forest. There's a whole world out there, and that's where we'll find Henry. Don't you two understand?
There's only one thing, Danny. We've never gone outside of the forest before.
You shouldn't let a little thing like that stand in the way of finding Henry. Now's your chance to learn and explore. Consider this a rare and valuable opportunity. We'll just write Klaus a note and tell him where we're going, and then it's off we go. Well?
Yes,
sounds great.
Great.
And it's important that we don't tell anyone else where we're headed. Others will only get worried and interfere because, you see, it's likely they won't understand. Now, we'll need some supplies and extra food just in case Henry is a lot farther away than any of us might imagine. Let's all go gather what's necessary from Klaus's home.
Danny, is that you?
Oh, I just stopped by for my sketch pad. It was such a nice day today that I thought I might do a little bit of drawing this afternoon. That was close. See you later, Judge Klaus.
Yes, lad, enjoy yourself.
This sure is nothing like our part of the forest.
This place is creepy.
I'm scared, Danny.
Now, there's nothing to worry about, nothing at all. You children are in excellent hands when you've got Danny as your guide. I've been careful to take an extra precaution. We'll drop these grains of sugar along the path just to make sure we don't lose our way. I'll leave one grain every few steps or so. Pretty good, huh?
Oh.
Wow.
We'll be able to turn around and follow the trail of sugar right back home.
The judge sure was right to hire you as his assistant. You're really smart, Danny.
And I'm glad you noticed.
That foolhardy young lad. If only Danny had a little less courage and a lot more common sense.
Okay, I got you now, Mr. Buzzbug. I got him, I did. I got him, I swatted the fly. Hey, what did you hit me for? That really hurt.
He hit a fly and I hit a dummy.
Hold on. Do you two smell what I'm smelling?
What?
That's a familiar odor. Gnomes smell a lot like that, you know.
You idiot, those are gnomes we smell.
Then what are we just standing here for? Let's go get them.
Oh boy, this is gonna be loads of fun.
I believe they look good enough to eat.
And there's 3 of those gnomes. That's one apiece.
And I believe I'm gonna use mine for a handball.
Look at that, will ya? Our 3 luscious appetizers are leaving grains of sugar behind them while they walk.
A trail that'll lead us right to them whenever we want.
I can't wait. Catching them is going to be very sweet.
But why those tiny gnomes want us to follow them, I'll never know.
That sugar's not for us, stupid. It's very simple. They're leaving a trail along the way so they'll be able to turn around later and find their way back home.
Yeah, but we're gonna catch them first.
Yeah, that's right.
You said it, Uli.
Where are you, Henry?
We've come to take you home.
Henry. Hey, we're your friends. Can you hear us?
Gee, Danny, I'm really scared, aren't you?
No, but I'm worried that it's almost dark and we'll be running out of sugar soon, so it's best we turn back, I suppose.
I'm hungry.
We're both hungry.
Well, that makes 3 of us, and as long as we're headed back home anyway, why don't we all eat the little bits of sugar as we go along?
Sure, that's a great idea, Danny. Oh!
What happened to the sugar?
Our path has disappeared.
Hold on, do you smell what I smell?
It's horrible.
That terrible odor is very familiar. I'm sure that I've smelled it before, and if I didn't know better, I'd say that it was the scent of a wild forest troll demon. Children, run away as fast as you can!
Gotcha. I'm gonna nibble mine like a hot dog.
I'm gonna bounce mine around like a ball.
And I'm going to keep this little gnome on a leash with a collar.
On second thought, I won't eat this one after all, but he will serve as my own personal cook and butler.
Thanks for the sugar. It was really, really tasty.
Hold on! Listen, you ruffians, I don't care what happens to me, but let the children down right now.
Oh, no, please don't beat me up, little man.
He's probably gonna kick you in the shins.
We'll keep them. Kids are our favorite.
But we like you enough to have you join us in a special game.
By the time we're through with you, I'll bet you say you never had so much fun in your whole life.
Ready?
Ready?
And 1, and 2, and 3, and 4. And 1, and 2,
Another of Danny's brilliant ideas that didn't work out.
No, I insist. We're gonna play volleyball with them. I want to play volleyball.
And I say I'd rather lock a bunch of them in a cage.
What about torturing the 3 of them with itching powder, huh?
Look, I'm the eldest troll. I make the final decision. And I say volleyball.
All right.
I want to go home.
We really miss our mother and father.
With any luck, we'll be on our way real soon, so just try not to worry.
Please do something, Danny.
Help us, Danny. You're the smart one.
Oh, how I wish I could live up to your expectations, but I don't know how to get us out of the fix we're in.
Never let it be said that I'm not willing to compromise. So let's have a contest to see which one of these silly gnomes we can throw the farthest.
Holy, I've got a much better idea. Why don't we get some string and turn them all into yo-yos?
If you still don't like itching powder, I'd like to throw out another good suggestion. We could take off their shoes and socks and tickle them for a couple of days. That sounds like a whole lot of fun. What was that?
Yeah, what's going on here?
Quick, you numbskulls, they're getting away!
Yeah.
Hold on, Poolie, you got him now! It's only a matter of time! Hang on!
Hey, now I know what it's like to fly.
That's what I call luck.
Boy, I'll say.
Yeah, but who is this swan?
Ah, it's Henry.
No one will mistake him for an ugly duckling now.
We almost didn't recognize you, Henry. I want to know everything that's happened to you since you ran away.
And we
Yes.
sure missed you an awful lot.
I think I'm beginning to understand it all now, Beto. You see, Henry was never an ugly duckling. He was always a swan, and he's grown up into a very handsome swan at that.
But Danny, aren't Henry's parents both ducks? This is beginning to get very confusing.
I don't blame you, Monica, because it baffled me too at first. But here's how I figure it happened. Henry's mother probably laid too many eggs and couldn't take care of them all. So when the mother duck wasn't looking, Mother Swan snuck one of her eggs into the duck's nest to be hatched.
That's why Henry was a different color.
Yes, definitely. That's what swans look like when they're hatched. When Henry's feathers started changing colors, he knew that he wasn't an ugly duckling after all, and that he must look for his real family. And he's found that in us.
that's the story of how both Danny became my assistant and Henry became our inseparable companion. Just flap those proud wings of yours, Henry, and let the breeze carry us home. And one thing's for certain, I'd never trade Danny and Henry's friendship for anything in this whole wide world. Because friendship is forever. Schlitzweit!